Hello and welcome everyone. So again we will further move ahead with the important definitions under section 3 of the Karnataka SC/ST PTCL Act. So first we will deal with the section 3, that is granted land. So here what is this granted land? Means any land granted by the government to a person who is belonging to any of the SC, that is scheduled caste or the scheduled tribes, and includes, this is what includes, land allotted or granted to such person, that is the scheduled caste or the scheduled tribes under the relevant law. Okay, for the time being in force, that law is there relating to agrarian reforms. Agrarian is related to cultivation, that is agricultural reforms related laws. It has been granted to him, or based on the land ceilings. Land ceiling is the limit of land a person can hold and cultivator can hold. Okay, the possessor who is possessing that agricultural land can hold not more than that area he can hold, that is what ceiling. So based upon that it has been granted to the scheduled caste or the scheduled tribes person, or it can be again granted due to abolition of inams. So after abolishing this inam system, those lands has been granted as per the reservation category. As per the reservations, the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes people might have been granted. Okay, so based upon different laws, schemes which the government has granted those land, so it can be any law for the time being in force granted to the person belonging to scheduled tribes or the scheduled caste, other than that relating to hereditary offices or rights, and the word here granted shall be construed accordingly. So it has to be granted in a specific definition. So moving ahead, whenever you come across government under this act, so government means the government of Karnataka and not the central government. And only if it has been mentioned that central government, then only you can consider, yes, this is not government of Karnataka. So further, what is scheduled caste and scheduled tribes mean? So they shall have the same meaning respectively assigned to them in the constitution. So what has been defined under constitution? So there is no particular definition, but the constitution has recognized what is scheduled caste under article 341 of our constitution. So there are two clauses under article 341. The first clause, it says the president may, with respect to any state or union territory, it is not the whole India he is going to recognize who is scheduled caste. He may, with respect to any state, particular state or any union territory, and if it is a state, then after consultation with the governor of that state, and he is going to recognize by public notification, and he will specify the caste, races, or the tribes or parts of or groups within such caste or races or tribes which shall, for this purpose of this constitution, will be deemed to be scheduled castes, and in relation to that particular state or union territory, as the case may be, depending upon the population, there are certain criteria to such particular state or union territories to recognize scheduled caste. And further, after this notification by the president office, we have clause 2, it says this notification, the list of the notifications of scheduled castes will be taken in the parliament. So parliament may, by law, it will include in or it will exclude from the list of scheduled caste which has been specified in the previous notification, that is the previous clause 1. Okay, so it can be any caste, race, or tribe, or part of or group of within such race, caste, or tribe, but it shall not be then other than any other notification which is issued subsequently. Okay, it has to be the same notification issued under clause 1 and not subsequent to this parliament's enactment. So Article 342, it has stated about scheduled tribes. So under clause 1, here also the same method is followed, like the president may, with respect to any particular state or union territory, and what he does, if it is a state, then he will consult with the governor thereof. By public notification, he will specify the tribes or the tribal communities or part of or groups within such tribes or tribal communities which shall, for the purposes of this constitution, that tribe or tribal communities will be deemed to be scheduled tribes in relation to that particular state or union territory, as the case may be. And again, in the same way, as Article 341 stated on scheduled caste, the same way scheduled tribes also, after the president's notification, the parliament may, by law, it will include or exclude from the list of scheduled tribes that was specified in a notification issued previously under clause 1, any tribe or tribal community or part of or group within such tribe or tribal community, but save as aforesaid, a notification issued under the said clause only shall not be varied by any other subsequent notification. So further, moving ahead with the next definition, transfer. What is transfer meant under this act? So does it mean only sale of a granted land? No. Transfer means it may also be a gift by the scheduled caste or the scheduled tribe person who has been granted with the land by the government. So it can be sale, gift, exchange of that land with some other land, mortgage. Mortgage is a loan taken on that particular land. So it should not be kept as a security, that is what, as a mortgage. If it is a lease, it is also considered to be transfer of that granted land, or any other transaction, but it should not be a partition among members of a family or a testamentary disposition. That is what, if a family, the whole family is a scheduled caste or scheduled tribes, it's okay. But if the member in the family are more, then the brothers, they can have a partition with that granted land. That is not considered to be a transfer. Any other transactions includes the creation of a charge on that particular granted land, or an agreement to sell. They have not sold it, but an agreement to sell, exchange, mortgage or lease, or enter into any other transaction will be considered to be a transfer. So that is prohibited. And further, there are certain words and expressions not defined in this act. So it will have the same meaning. It can be defined. It shall have the meaning assigned to them in the Karnataka Land Revenue Act 1964.